to another edition of Carolina Celtic. The award-winning Celtic duo of harpist Sue Richards and guitarist Robin Bullock, in partnership with White Horse Black Mountain and RadHaus.Studio, present the April edition of Carolina Celtic, a monthly concert series from Black Mountain, North Carolina. Carolina Celtic showcases Irish and Scottish musical traditions and explores their commonality with the Appalachian ballads and stories of the Carolina Mountains. Tonight especially, we get to hear that. Every month, Sue and Robin collaborate with a different guest artist, ensuring that no two Carolina Celtic concerts are the same. And tonight, our featured artist is Josh Goforth. Here's our host, Bob Hinkle, to tell you more about it.
We'll get to it quickly tonight because this is a special night. White Horse live, RadHaus, Robin Bullock and Josh, everybody's going to present tonight. Some history-making music, I think. We're going to meld the mountain classic and the Celtic and see if the reaction is chemical. This is a collision of genres, but a friendly one. Now, Josh Goforth is a master storyteller, a multi-instrumentalist, playing about 20 instruments at least as of the beginning of this show. He's played in all 50 states and around the world, played at Lincoln Center and Carnegie Hall, the Grand Ole Opry, was nominated for a Grammy in 2009. This is where I usually launch into a couple of paragraphs. Go ahead. I usually get down on him now, but we don't have time, so I'm not going to do that. Now, not too long ago, a paper in Baltimore said that Robin Bullock was a Celtic guitar god. You got to start somewhere. He's working his way up now.
That's right. Yeah. Right.
Sing Out magazine, that Bible of the folkies, the folkettes, the folklights, the folk appreciators, said that Robin was one of the best folk instrumentalists around. Well, he's a pretty good polka as well as being co-producer, as I've said, of this Carolina Celtic series, which we're having so much fun with. So, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats. Please welcome Josh Goforth and Robin Bullock.
Well, the boatman dance and the boatman sing, and the boatman does most any old thing. When the boatman comes to show, play for pennies and dance for more dance. Oh, dance, boatman, dance, dance all night to the broad daylight. Go home with the girls in the morning. Hi-ho, the boatman roll, float down the river called the Ohio. Well, the boatman, he's a thrifty man. He'll take anything that he well can. I've never seen a pretty girl in my life what wouldn't marry and a boatman's wife dance. Oh, dance, boatman, dance, dance all night to the broad daylight. Go home with the girls in the morning. Hi-ho, the boatman roll, float down the river called the Ohio. Now when the boatman blows his horn, you better watch out or your daughter's gone. He took my sheep and he took my goat. He put them in a sack, then he put them on the boat. Dance, oh dance, boat and dance, dance, dance all night till the broad daylight, go home with the girls in the morning. Hi-ho, the boatman roll, float down the river called the Ohio. Sing hi-ho, the boatman roll, float down the river called the Ohio. Thank you. It's like the honor of my life getting to play with Robin Bullock. I mean, how awesome is he?
Likewise. Likewise. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you all for being here. This is going to be a fun night. It is the Carolina Celtic series, indeed, but as Bob mentioned, and as Rebecca mentioned, one of the underlying philosophies when we first put the Carolina Celtic series together was to find commonality between Celtic traditions and the musical and dance and storytelling traditions of right here in Appalachia. And there's no better a person to do that with than this man right here.
Thanks, Ron. Well, one of my favorite things to do are ballads, and ballad, of course, is a story song, and most of the time they're sung without accompaniment, or what people back home in Madison County call acapella. But for this one, we thought it'd be really nice to kind of back this up with some instrumentation. This is one that I got from Deli Norton from over in Sodom, North Carolina, and there is a Sodom, but there ain't no Gomorrah over in Madison County. And Deli was quite a character and a wonderful ballad singer. My good buddy David Holt, who I got to perform with for 20 years, he told me this story about Deli. He said that he went over to her house, and she was kind of a medicine woman, and she would put together all these tonics and dried herbs and everything for healing purposes. And so, like, for instance, he asked her, he said, well, what do you do when somebody has a fever? She's like, oh, that's easy, just a little bit of willow bark, do that. Well, what about, like heart problems? Well, just some heart roots, good. He said, well, what do you do for a common cold? And she said, oh, that's the easiest one of all, Alka-Seltzer. So here's one from her, a really beautiful ballad called Pretty Fair Maid Was in Her Garden. Pretty fair maid was in her garden when a stranger come a-riding by. He came up to the gate and called her, said, pretty fair maid, would you be my bride? Said, I've a true love who's in the army, and he's been gone for 7 long years. And if he's gone for 7 years longer, I'll still be waiting here for him. Perhaps he's on some watercourse drowning. Perhaps he's on some battlefield slain. Perhaps he's too fair girl married, and you may never see him again. Well, if he's drowned, I hope he's happy. Or if he's on some battlefield slain, or if he's too fair girl married, I love the girl that married him. Took his hand out of his pocket and on his finger he wore a golden ring. And when she saw that band shining, a brand new song her heart did sing. Then she threw her arms all around him, and kisses gave him. He gave 1, 2, 3. He said, I'm your true and loving soldier, who's come back home to marry thee. It's a pretty fair maid was in her garden.
All right, I think it's time for some fiddle tunes. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I'm ready. We'll kind of start with a slower one that's a newer written tune, and then we'll follow that up with a really good West Virginia tune that if you feel like dancing, there's plenty of dance space up here, so don't be scared, called Farewell Princeton. So we'll start with one called Winder Slide. I love that name, don't you? Winder Slide.
Carry on with a song that probably does have Celtic roots if you go back far enough. It's one of those songs that really kind of just consists of randomly chosen verses that are kind of floating around out there in the folk music universe. I was mulling over this song this afternoon, and I realized for the first time that at least the version I know has 3 verses, none of which have anything to do with the other 2. Or the chorus, for that matter. So it's really just sort of this... The whole song is really basically a series of non sequiturs. But you know, that's traditional music.
We like to think of it as really deep, and maybe if you look hard enough, you might find the connection.
Poetic, yeah. Anyway, I got this version of it from one of my musical heroes, Norman Blake. And it exists in any number of different forms, but this is more or less Norman's version. This is called Sweet Heaven When I Die.
See my pony run. And if I should win any greenbacks, good God, well, we're sure gonna have some fun. Let her go, God bless her, though she roams o'er the land and sea. Well, she may search this wide world all over and never find a friend as true as me. Gave me, take back that lock of hair and the card with your picture inside it, for it's a face that is false though fair. Let her go, God bless her, though she roams o'er the land and sea. Well, she may search this wide world all over and never find a friend as true as me. Beefsteak when I'm hungry, and it's whiskey when I'm dry, and it's greenbacks when I'm hard up, good God, and it's sweet heaven when I die. Let her go, God bless her, though she roams o'er the land and sea. Well, she may search this wide world all over and never find a friend as true as me. Let her go, God bless her, though she roams o'er the land and sea. Well, she may search this wide world all over and never find a friend as true as me. Thank you.
Let's do a good Celtic song here, okay?
All right. From the legendary Irish Celtic bard Hank Williams.
Hank McWilliams.
Hank O. Williams.
When he was he was writing this song, he had the very first line to this song, "Today I passed you on the street." But he didn't have anything after that, and they were all riding in a gig together in the car, and he said, "Fellers, I got this one line, today I passed you on the street, but I don't have the next part of it." And one of the fellas in the band said, "How about, and smelled your stinky feet?" Which then became what I feel like is one of the most beautiful lines in country music. "Today I passed you on the street, and my heart fell at your feet." Today I passed you on the street, and my heart fell at your feet. I can't help it if I'm still in love with you. You can sing along if you want. Somebody else stood by your side, and he looked